And welcome to the Utica Curling Channel. Roger Ollett here with Mary Jane Walsh.
Hello, everybody.
And our feature game today is the championship final of the Glengarry Challenge, the last of our club championships for this year, our women's championship. Our mixed championship concluded in January and the men's championship in December.
So our teams today, we've got the defending champions, Erlene Pulio's team, playing with Donna Caleo, Michelle McEnroe, and Shelley Del Monte. And they'll be playing Team Felice, Barb Felice, Carol Jones, Melon Sophisti, and Marge Moore subbing in for Cindy Ciarelli.
And it looks like Team Pulio will be playing the Red Rocks, and we'll have the last rock here in the first end.
Okay.
We'll keep you up to date on the other scores around the sheets. We've got our B final over on sheet 2, our D final, our third place game over on sheet 4, and our C final over on sheet 5. Of course, you can always check the scoreboard in the middle of the screen. We'll keep that up as we can during the game today. Marge Moore subbing in for Cindy Ciarelli, her second lead rock.
Looks like this will be a quick end until somebody misses a hit or they get out of the house, which could be with this rock.
Shelley Del Monte, lead for Team Pulio. This one does look a little light. Gonna hang around in the rings will be Shot Rock in the back.
And game on.
Now Melon Sophisti, second for Team Felice, with her first. Coming up a little short of the rings now, Michelle McEnroe, second for Team Pulio. Looking at an out-turn draw here. Come around that center guard and sit 1 and 2. Team Pulio are the 3-time defending champs. They've won this event in 2023, 2022, and 2020. Not competed in 2021, of course, because of the pandemic.
Of course, it was a slightly different team then.
Karen Barnes at lead.
Right. She left to form her own team this year.
Barb Felice's team with Carol Jones at third. That back end's actually won the B event 3 of the last 4 years or 5 years, 2023, 2022, and 2018. Ellen Safinsky looking to tap something up here. This one's hanging out a little bit. I think certainly the last few weeks or so, if you're just a little up weight on the outside, the rocks run a little straighter.
Especially in the first end.
Than you would expect, yeah, especially in the first end, which a tad slower. Ice has been running around, I'd say 12.6, 13 in the first end. It'll speed up to around 14.2 later in the game. Seeing quite a few rocks coming up a little short this end. Not sure they can get this one to shot position. Oh, just a little bit short.
So they're sitting 1-3.
Shot stone in the back, third stone up front. I think there's easily room to draw that port. Seems to be plenty of room to draw into the 4-foot from that direction. Carol Jones now, third for Team Police. Looking pretty good for the tap here.
Tap and guard.
And really nice weight. That's going to go right onto the shot rock in the back 4. That'll be a hard one to remove. But there is a port.
Decent sized one at that.
Yeah, I think there's ample room to draw down to shot rock. Erling's going to come up and size up the port and the guards. Donna Clay with her first. It's just not going to curl off this line with that weight. It's going to wind up tapping up another yellow into shot position.
And closing the port a little bit.
And it closed it up significantly. Team Police now sitting 2 and a shot in hand here. Still think there's room to come through the port if you want to get another one in. It's going to run just a little straighter this first end until the ice speeds up. See if we can get a hog-to-hog time here. Carol Jones with her second, looking to shoot the gap here and draw a third stone into the rings. This one's way out there.
Well, Carol's the lefty on this team, so her on this draw, that's her out turn. It's not going to curl.
It will run a little straighter. Yep.
Yeah.
Just going to let that one settle in for a guard. Kind of loaded that up for a nice raise, too. I think they're looking at this out-turn draw and tap on the rock on the top 12. Donna with her last this end. This one's got a little juice on it, but probably a little slow out here. It's coming in nice if it's got any weight. (13-2) hog to hog, and that's close to T-line weight. Needed a little bit more to tap that on an angle. No, Team Felice now still sitting 1-2 on the 4-foot.
They're going to guard the raise. I don't think either team has seen the tap up yellow onto red on the left side.
Now, it's something you might want to save up for your last rock.
True, especially if your opposition hasn't seen it.
I don't think it goes on to anything in the house, but it does line up nicely to tap into the 4-foot. Oh, Barb Fleece coming back to throw her first. I think just looking to guard this out-turn side. Team Pulio in a little bit of trouble here in the first end. Team Felice with 2 rocks buried on the 4-foot.
Without hammer, I believe, too. Which is when you, if the score stays like this, is when you pretend you didn't have hammer and you go on to the second end.
First rock, first end here for Barb Fleece. Just looking to cover up this tap up. It's going to over curl. Several rocks down this line now. It's getting a little quicker maybe. Yeah, didn't take enough ice. That curled all the way back to the center line. Couple different angle raise possibilities now for Erlene Pulio.
They could also do an in-off on this wide red. Might actually be easier than the angle raise,
I
frankly.
think it'd be very hard to get underneath because you're going to crash into your own red rock.
Well, that's true. You can't come this. You can't come with the in-turn. Can't come with the clockwise for a right-hander.
I think they're looking at either raising this outer rock, or I think there's actually enough room still to raise the rock closer to the center line. Take your choice. This is a pretty thin raise here, probably a quarter rock. Erlene Pulio looking to take this rock and squirt it over into the 4-foot area. Doesn't look heavy. And the line was great, but just not enough weight. Still pretty slow. It must be really fresh out there in the weeds, too.
The angle race is now a little easier, so I imagine that Barb will guard up.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good that angle is. It looks like it almost goes straight back. These two rocks are now lined up to go the wrong direction unless you hit the top rock on the centerline side.
Absolutely.
A tough shot. You got to hit that pretty thin to redirect that stone back into the 4-foot area. I almost think the yellow-red tap might be a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
I think Barb Felice is going to be content here just to guard this out-turn raise again. Taking a lot more ice this time. Not wide. Probably want this just over.
Over and up, ladies.
And that's a pretty good guard.
Yep.
Gonna overcurl a tad.
Still, they can't, as you pointed out, they can't hit the outside of that red. Oh, it overcurled quite a bit.
You can still get to the inside, but it's tight.
No one is looking at the left side at all.
Yeah, I think that yellow-red on the left side might be a more natural angle.
Granted, it's further out. It's a long run back.
Yeah, they're looking at this again. You got to get to the inside. That's the key here.
I think the only thing they're looking at on the left side is whether they can get through that port. And I would say no.
So this rock has got to go that way. Now let me clean up my. Hit this one on the inside. You want this rock to go that way so that this one will squirt that way. And you got to throw quite a bit of weight, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you got to move two rocks on a fairly thin angle. I think you throw almost hack weight at this. Well, the good news about this shot is if you miss it completely, you're probably only giving up the 2. The yellow-red combo, if you hit that wrong, you could squirt another yellow one into the rings.
There's also a yellow-red combo on the right side. If for some reason they were to overcurl.
Yep.
Not sure what the angles are on that.
That one's a pretty easy one, too.
Oh, boy.
And this one's going to hang out.
Yep. Nice weight, though.
That was better weight. I think that would have been the right weight for that shot. Had to get to the inside, though. It'll be a steal of 2 for Team Felice. They grab a 2-0 lead after 1. Here in our championship final, Team Puleo playing the Red Rocks. They will have last rock advantage here in the second end.
Well, we've got several teams already in the second end, and we will tell you the scores once the devices finally hang them.
Yeah, no posted scores yet. It's just starting to go up now. Over on sheet 4, Team Carter's grabbed a 2-zip lead over Team Barnes. Deuce is wild out there. Heather Dockstadter's grabbed a deuce against Team Schaefer. And Joyce is not playing. Who's subbing in for her? Sue Henson.
Yeah, but they've moved the team around, so Sue Williams is skipping.
Sue is skipping up.
Yeah. And D is vicing, I believe, so I think Sue came in at second, looking at who's getting set up to throw the first rocks. Pretty much rearrange the team in order of experience.
Very nice center guard there by Marge Moore, right on the center line. Not sure if they're playing the no-tick rule in this event. It makes a big difference when you are playing the no-tick rule to get that rock on the center line. Gives it a little extra chance to steal the end. The other team's got to be very careful with their come around, not to nick that guard off the center line. And we might find out now if they're playing the no-tick.
Yeah, she's by.
Yeah, nice rock there by Shelly Del Monte. Not too deep. Got right behind that center guard. Peeking out just a little bit on the back side. It is accessible. Can probably see 3/4 of a rock.
Thick half.
Team Fleece going to give it a go. Marge Moore with her second, looking to take out Shelly DeMonte's shot stone. Good board weight here. These will curl hard up the middle. Probably just not enough ice on that one. The weight was pretty good for takeout. Now a chance for Team Puleo just to split the house. The other option would be to go around that wide corner guard, put 3 in play.
Looks like they're splitting. First I thought they were
Yeah,
tapping.
the
but-
call was for the split.
Oh, was it? Well, that's what I get for checking to see if Sheet 5 has hung their score yet. They have not.
Yeah, I like going around that corner. It's there. Might as well use it.
Mm-hmm. Or you could even hit and roll, but getting there is easier with the draw.
Now a chance for Team Fleece to get rid of shot stone and get out of trouble here in the second end. Ellen Safinsky with a takeout attempt. Yeah, rocks will curl so hard back toward the middle and between the forefoots here with light weight. Now a chance again for Team Puleo to sit 2. Don't look like they want to use that corner guard. They're satisfied with splitting the house here. Going to the open side. This looks like a nice shot. This will be right on the rings. Nice and wide. Difficult double.
Very. Looks like Sheet 5 blanked the first end. They just hung the card so far over to the right.
Oh, they hung a blank side out.
Yep.
which-
This is moving hard.
Having a hard time controlling those lighter weight hits. They will curl.
We haven't seen any inside-out hits yet.
Yeah, those should run a little straighter, but they'll curl too.
Yeah.
Just from the edge of the 4-foot end, right up the slide path, you're getting a lot of hard late break.
All right, so around we come. Going to use that top 12 Rod Rock as a guard.
Do want to keep this above tee. Could also split 3 broad to go top 8 foot the other side, sit 3.
That was the other option that she gave her, but
without grouping your rocks here. That one goes behind tee. Team Fleet's in a difficult spot now.
all they have to do is lock a good one on.
If you make it, it's a great shot. If you miss it, you're probably looking at dropping a pretty big end here. Carol Jones looking for a freeze.
Well, with that weight, maybe not.
Looks like it's going to rub the top one, and this could be big trouble for Team Felice. Good news is that yellow rock is sitting in front of a couple reds. A little trickier to remove. Pretty easy to shoot that one this way and roll your shooter here and guard that rock on the 8 foot. That would be ideal. Regardless, that yellow rock has to go. It's a dangerous rock for Team Puleo that can be raised.
Can't see where she's got the broom.
Need to hit this on the high side.
It's overcurling. Either that or you got to let it overcurl, see if you can pop it through the hole.
Yep, hoping to squirt it through the middle.
And
it'll go
that's
through.
what they did.
Good plan B.
Got to have those plan Bs in your head. All you skips.
You got to know where you're not going to hit it. So there's always, usually when you're throwing those kind of shots, there's one spot that you cannot make the contact with, and they successfully navigated that. Now, big trouble for Team Felice, looking at 4. No real good freezes here. You got to make a perfect freeze here to not be chipped out. You get anything on an angle, it'll be too easy to double out the 2 stones. Carol Jones with her last, looking to lock one right on the nose. And this one's going to come up short. You might want to see if you can tuck it in behind the red. That's not the worst spot in the world.
Yep, cuts them down.
It's not easily accessible. It is second rock.
Got to tap it back, if not, remove it.
We got a couple options. You can run the red on top and just open up access. Or you can try the little tap. If you play the tap, you're going to be behind tee line.
Oh, not sure I like the freeze. I don't mind the setup shot.
And if you make the freeze, you sit 2, but then Team Fleece can come and sit on top again, and got 2 rocks behind tee line forming a pocket. It's a very short run on the red on the 8-foot.
Oh, that's true.
You can run that red, and even if you miss that, you spin another shooter in and open up access to that yellow rock.
This has got legs.
Looking to drop this on top 4, but it looks a little heavy. I'm going to come down to the shot stone and tap it back. This could be the get out of jail free card for Team Felice. I can hit and roll under. Now, Team Felice can hit shot rock and roll underneath that red corner again. Then they'll be sitting 2 and have some hope of getting out of this end without dropping a big score. Don't need to make the double. You just need to hit and roll red, yellow rock underneath. Even a freeze here wouldn't be horrible. Sit 2 and 3. Looks like that's what they're calling.
Yeah, with that ice.
A lot of red in the rings. Their yellow rocks are outnumbered 5-1.
Very lonely.
Yep, this if there was ever a situation that screamed 2 rocks in the rings, this is it. This is one of those situations you want to sit 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, anything. Just make sure you can outcount some of those extra stones that red has laying around the rings here. First shot, second end here for Barb Felice, just looking to freeze up on shot stone. The line was perfect. It's just probably about 6 feet light.
Well, Barb has just started curling with a stick this year, and I can tell you all from experience, it's tough to throw with a stick. The draws are hard. The hits are much easier.
Well, that red run back is just begging to be thrown. That's a big end. Even if you miss it, I think you're still going to be able to score.
Even if they did a nose, nose hit won't do it.
Got to hit just a shade high. Even a nose,
Well,
if it takes out the back 8 rock, you're still sitting a pile of stones.
Well, the question is, would it jam on the back one?
I don't think it jams. I think it ricochets off. It'd probably leave you sitting 3 at least. I'll leave you sitting 4, actually. Not much downside here. If you open up access to that yellow, I mean, it's pretty lonely.
They're going to put another one in on the top 8.
I mean, you might want to throw this one first and prevent them from freezing on shot stone and cutting the rings down, and throw the run back with your last. mean, if you go like top 8, half buried here, you'd be able to throw that run back with your last.
Mm-hmm. To force yellow into either hitting something just to contain the damage.
Well, they'll probably have to throw the
or
draw. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Coming in nice.
Yep, coming right down 2 is what one of the sweepers said.
Not a bad spot. Now they're outnumbered 6-1 in the rings. And yellow's got to get a rock in. I think you got to follow that one down on the intern side and corner freeze. And give up your 2. You hope it's only 2. But if you can get a yellow rock here, that will force Arlene to throw this outturn draw, which no one's thrown yet successfully this end. No one's really been out there in a while.
And it looks like Barb's going to try to beat her to the punch. This is a tough shot. If you don't place it exactly right, they can follow him down and pop him out.
Well, they can throw that same intern draw again, come to their own for at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have the choice of throwing the run back for a bunch, depending on where this winds up.
Right. Well, they've seen this line before. It just Barb was a little light.
Yeah, they just saw the intern from Arlene. They could just take her line and follow it right down. You sit on the corner there, then they'll have a tough draw for 3. If you make this, it'll accomplish the same thing.
Right. Well, I think Barb is thinking, allow me to put myself in her head, but she just threw this draw and came up.
Yeah, she was
short,
just 6 feet short.
So they know the line. She just has to give it another 6 feet.
Yeah, they're about 2 feet wider than their last line. It's the only difference. So they're in the fresh path here. Last rock here, second in for Barb Felice, throwing against 2. Looking for a second rock in. This one looks heavier for sure. It's coming down, though. It dug in hard late.
Oh, boy.
Sweepers missed it.
Yep, that fresh path. That's the front end's job as much as the skips, is to keep track of that. All right, so now, will she go for the big score here? Or just draw?
You're sitting 2. It's absolutely worth it to go for a bundle here. Yeah, the rock Barb just threw, I think, is now outcounting the one on the far 12-foot wing. But this would be a run back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep, if your shooter sticks.
I think you can keep your shooter.
And even if it's a nose hit, it would still be for 5 if the yellow bounces off the red in the back 8.
Yep. It'd be 4 or 5, depending on whether the run back stone rolls out.
Mm-hmm. You got to go for it.
It's a game ender if you can make it. Absolutely worth the risk. You're already sitting 2.
About the only way I can see this going wrong is if she's hideously narrow, and knowing Arlene, she won't be hideously narrow.
Well, narrow doesn't hurt you, I think, if you're...
Well, if you take your own out, it does.
Oh, that would be very narrow.
Yes, that's why I said hideously.
Yeah.
But she won't be hideously
If you hit
narrow.
it high, I think you still get 2, even if you take yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is well worth any potential risk. Just a sliver high. They're going to go for it. And I like this call. I think this is low risk, high reward. Last rock, second in. This is for a pile. Arlene Pulio. Looking for a little run back. Just want to make sure you hit this a shade high.
Comes the nose.
And that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Count them up.
A mittful here in the second end. Erling Pulio.
There seems to be some debate about the 12-foot rocks.
I think yellow's clearly outcounting the one on the side 12.
Okay, let's get you caught up on scores elsewhere. On sheet 2, the Dockstetter's gone out to a 4-0 lead. Sheet 4, Julie Carter's out to a 5-0 lead. There seems to be a pattern here. Sheet 5, they finally scored in the second. Yellow took 1. I think it's important to know that those are very inexperienced teams out there on sheet 5. The yellow team, Amy Lamity is a second year, and the rest of her team are all first years. So good on them.
And here we go in the third end. Team Fleece with Yellow Rocks will have the last rock advantage this ends. Team Pulio with a 5-2 lead after that run back. Team Fleece with some work to do this end. They've got a little bit of a corner guard to work with here.
And they don't have to get it back all at once.
No, just get yourself back on that 2-1, 2-1 train. And this one goes right around the corner. Very nice shot by Marge Moore. So give a corner guard, use a corner guard. Now they come around the corner. It's going to overcurl. Did open up shot rock. Barfleece looking to split the house. The other option would be to dunk another one around that corner. Marge Moore with her second, just looking to put one on the edge of the rings out here. This one's curling a lot. We're going to run out of rings before it stops. Just a little heavy. Now a chance for Michelle McEnroe to remove shot stone. Nice easy board weight there by Michelle McEnroe. Right on the noggin. Shot stone goes away. Now Team Police needs to start over. Still got some corner guards to work with. Hit and roll either way here would be ideal. Anything but nose here. Sweepers are holding it. Just gonna nick the guard. Now a chance for Team Puleo to sit 2. 1 buried. $14-9. And that's right to the top 4. Nice quick ice now. It's probably about 14-6 to T-line. Can't ask for better ice conditions than that. 4 feet of curl. 14.5 second ice. Melon Safinsky looking to remove that shot stone just thrown by Michelle McEnroe. This one's curling up nice. They get it by the guard. Love to roll under a little bit. And
mission accomplished.
That is very pretty. Again, nice takeout weight there. One of the lines I always use in coaching is peel for show, board for dough, and there's a good example right there. A nice lightweight hit. Get a nice controlled roll under the guard.
Yeah, you're throwing too fast, you're not going to hold them around.
When you're throwing too fast, you better hit the broom exactly right because you're not going to be able to control it with the brooms. So now Team Police back in business. They are shot stone buried, and this will force Team Puleo to either peel or freeze. You're going to go for the freeze?
Possibly.
That's what they called.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be a lot of ice.
And that one got out a bit wide. It's going to try to come back. Curling nice now. Probably good that Donna was a little wide of the broom. That curled up pretty well. Team Police still shot stone. They got kicked into the open just a little bit. I don't think Carroll's going to be too keen on taking out that red rock that was just thrown. Pretty easy to jam that one on shot rock.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to give it a try. Got to get to the inside here, or at least to the nose.
Well, with that ice, that should be doable if they're still curling.
Yeah, you got to throw easy board weight here.
No, that's Carol's normal.
Michelle went down this line, and it curled up real nice.
Of course, it is the lefty.
This one's out there. Might hit the other red stone.
Might hit the red guard. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Should have swept that by.
That'll be okay.
Oh, okay.
It'll get that one out.
I couldn't. You know, darn sweepers, they stand in the way. You can't see what the rocket's doing. You've got a better angle than I. I'm right down the center line here.
That's why the electronic gods made the video monitor.
Yes, which you also have on your side of the desk, and I don't.
I get a good view from that because the camera is about 12 feet up. Now a chance for Donna Clayle to remove shot rock. It is slightly exposed here on the outturned side. Should be gettable. I think that was set back just a little bit. I'm not sure it's going to come back.
If it is, it's going to kick it underneath again.
And back under again.
However, it's lined up the red angle.
Lined it up on behind the red.
The yellow rocket's had a charmed life. It's been wick-whacked.
It's been noodled around here
Yes.
the last few shots. I think regrettably they're going to have to guard or corner freeze that red just to keep that yellow one alive. If you draw in, they'll just run it. I absolutely hate guarding rocks up the middle with hammer, but I just don't think
sometimes you have to.
You don't have any choice here if you want to keep your deuce. Like if you want to keep another rock in play, if you corner freeze on the center line side, that's really good. Tough shot though, you don't want to miss that. And leave that run back. Throw the tight guard here, and if you get good line, maybe you can freeze it up. Carol Jones to her last. Curling really hard. Might want to go over and up here. And that's what they did, over and up. And that's a really nice guard. Nice weight control there by Carol Jones, playing on really fast ice.
Let's see if we can get another hog-to-hog here. Meanwhile, we have updates on all the other sheets. So on sheet 2, Team Schaefer has scored. The score there now is 4-1. Dockstader over Schaefer.
And that's after 3 ends of play.
After 3, yep. The other 3 sheets have all finished the third. On sheet 4, Team Carter is rolling along, and the score is now 6-0. And on sheet 5, they've tied it up, 1-1.
After 3.
Yep, Donegan and Lamity. $15 seconds on this shot.
Going to be a little short.
Yep.
Earlier shot down this line was around 14.9. That made top 4, but slightly different line. This was a little bit wider. Into the fresh stuff. Well, if they want their deuce, they're going to have to go arounds. That red rock is a threat, but hard to get rid of.
No, it's edge on edge, if not slightly tucked.
Yeah, and if you hit it high, it goes right on your shot rocks. So I think you got to duck one round. First rock, third end here for Barb Felice. Throwing a come around. This look, sweepers are saying heavy.
Yep.
And indeed, they're right.
I'm not actually sure that that red raise is as easy as it looks. With the red slightly overlapped, you could hit it too far on the outside easily and take your own red out.
Well, with the red you're raising, will probably stay in the rings.
Well, that's true.
I think it's just probably 2/3, 3/4 rock should go right onto the yellow stone. Either tap or draw here, either one.
Well, she just threw the draw. It came up a little light, so.
The draw is probably easier. You want to get to a spot. Usually a draw is easier than a raise or a hit and roll. Last rock, third end for Erling Pulio. One more to come. Someone looks tight. Not sure if it's a tweener, are they going around, or they're...
Oh, it's got lots of weight.
I think they were sweeping it for line, and
Yeah.
it's going to go around.
And through.
So now a chance to draw for two for Barb Felice. He just needs full 8 foot. Don't have to come anywhere near that red rock. And she just threw it, so she'll have a good idea of the weight adjustment. Deuce here gets you back in the game.
I think they took more ice, too.
Yes.
So this may be an unknown path.
Last rock, third end. Barb Felice looking for 8 foot. Sweepers aren't offering. Trying to lock up, but too heavy, I think. Again, about 3 or 4 feet too heavy. Yeah, it's only a single for Team Felice. They now trail 5-3. After 3, Team Pulio with the red rocks will have the last rock advantage here in the fourth end. And it looks like somebody took some rocks away from sheet 3, creating mass confusion. So they're either over on sheet 4 or they're on sheet 2.
They've gone visiting.
I think it's steal time for Team Felice. I think somewhere in the next 4 ends they're going to have to generate a steal to get caught back up. And no time like the present to get started.
Boy, that just moved sideways at the end. It also didn't have much handle by the time it got to the end.
Yeah, I think now that the ice is sped up, going to get a little more curl. And you have to watch your rotation. This one looks a little hot for a come around.
You might want to. That nose hits, that might have enough. If I was Barb, I'd be sweeping that out of the house.
Yeah, sweep that through the rings. You put her back.
Meanwhile, whatever equipment issue we had on sheet 2 seems to be resolved, and they're back in play. Something to do with grippers.
Oh, maybe it was a gripper that went walkabout instead of a rock.
Yeah. It was either a gripper went walkabout or one was leaving debris on the ice. I'm not sure which.
Okay, a chance for another center guard here by Marge Moore. This looks a little strong. And the bad news, it didn't get buried either, so in the back of the rings. Now Earlene's got a free corner guard to play with and a backer. And last rock advantage here in the 4th end.
This weight looks much better.
Well, anything but a guard here with a 2-point lead. Not a bad spot. Didn't get buried, but it is in front of shot rock.
Right. Or it is shot rock in front of.
Well, in front of the former shot rock, I should say.
Nice jam there.
Yeah, Team Fleece in a tough spot here, no center guard, and a rock behind T-line. Going to be forced to freeze here to try to get out of this end. Long way from generating a steal this end with the current rock positioning.
Ooh, this looks hot. Oh boy.
Well, he might get a takeout if it curls, but I just don't know if it's going to come over enough. Yeah, just too much weight. Through the rings weight, they don't curl. Would love to dunk one around the corner here.
Oh, absolutely.
Red shot stone still not easy to remove, even if they freeze to it. Should be able to get rid of the opposition stones.
Yeah. Calling for one in front of it. I would have liked to have drawn around the corner guard. Let them play with that red all day long.
Yep, get one hit, let them chase in the middle.
Okay,
And
this seems to be a pattern all of a sudden.
Yep. Say, ice is quick on this side. Nope, might have overcorrected. This one was narrow.
Yep, overcorrected. Went from 13 to 15.
Yeah, it's probably around 14.5. That was what we were getting on this path. Last end. Oh, plenty quick. Have to see if Michelle McEnroe can make the weight adjustment. $14.5 would be really close, I think. This one looks a little warm too.
Yeah, it might be right down too. Not a word, ladies. 13.8.
Yeah, that's going to be back house. Yeah, we're looking for 14.5.
For those of you who don't know what these numbers are that we're throwing around, that's the time the rock travels from the far hog line to the near hog line.
And that's a relatively delivery-independent measure of the ice speed. If you're skipping, you can use that time to determine where that rock is going to land in the house if you know something about the path you're on. So once more with feeling here, searching for the right weight. Line looks better.
That's going hard.
Yeah, it was just a little tight out of hand.
Yep. Again, 13.8.
So back house weight needed to hit something, and it did. It ran into the guard.
I would say it was probably a little less than what I clicked, but eyes ain't what they used to be.
Donna Cleo looking to remove this dangerous yellow rock on the top 8. Need to get this rock to curl. Right now it's set up for the jam.
Oh boy.
And it did. The pro side was not wide on that one, and that was an unfortunate miss. Now Team Felice is sitting 2, but they're behind T-line. Not a great stealing situation, but what you got is what you got here, I guess. Yeah, where do you put this rock? No great place to put this yellow rock. Somewhere in the top of the house, I guess. And cross your fingers and hope one or more of those rocks in the back 8 score. But probably not likely. Again, this ice is so fast. Look at this rock glide. This is going to go behind tee. Going to dig in. Nope, it's going to be behind tee. Just can't stop rocks on that line.
It's my kind of line for hitting.
Well, Team Puleo looking at 3, but the good news, they're all behind tee line. They're all accessible. Wouldn't mind just hitting and rolling over one of the top of one of those yellows.
Mm-hmm.
Really just hit it anywhere. They got rid of that pesky rock in the back, biting on the back 12.
Hate those trippers.
Yeah, it was impediment to removing anything. Well, Barton Felice is just looking at hitting and sticking and maintaining sitting 3.
Mm-hmm. Ultimately, that should end up in a force. Although, if you keep hitting and sticking, you won't be out counting the back ones by the time they get to Orleans last.
Yeah, if it's all nose hits.
Yeah. Somebody's going to have to hit and roll eventually.
Just want to squirt this one through the hole. Barton Felice looking for a nose hit here. Her first rock.
That's got a curl.
They'll snap here in the slide path. Nice line call by Carol Jones. Navigated that stone right to the nose. Nice easy weight again. I think Team Puleo has the easier part of this hitting exchange. They can afford to jam one of the yellows, but Team Felice can't afford to jam a red.
True.
And I still think Team Puleo would love to hit and roll above one of these yellow stones. Either way. just to make that hit and roll a little more difficult. A big end brewing over on 2. We've been keeping our eye on it. There's a lot of yellow rocks in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1. Yellow rocks outnumber the reds. I'll keep you up to date on that score. And they hit and roll out there by Arlene Pulio. So now a free shot for Barb Felice. I think they just want to go probably bite top 4 somewhere. I think you'd want to go half overlapped with the rock on the back, would you not? Make them throw the double?
Sure.
I love being right there.
She may not throw the double. She may draw, although, man, they've thrown so many hits now that would be...
Right. But, I mean, it gives them a choice. They either
right.
got a draw, difficult port, or they're going to have to throw the double.
And, frankly, they can't afford to draw. If they were to miss it,
right,
they're right. Yellow's right back in the game.
The trouble with going centerline top 4 is then you can now hit or draw to this back one for shot. I'd like just cover a quarter of that rock. Just make it miserable to look at so that you're not confident of the hit and you're not confident of the draw.
At least 2 on sheet. We're talking about sheet 2. There was a pocket, and they missed it.
Went through the hole in the pocket. We'll update you on the score on sheet 2, but Team Schaefer made a substantial comeback that end. And we'll get that score for you as soon as we know what it is. It was either 3 or 4, I think.
I don't think it was 4, but again, we're not sitting behind the sheet, so. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Last rock, 4th in for Barb Felice. Just looking to sit, biting top 4. This one's going to come up light. Boy, you need to get this over to cover the back stone. I think they'll be successful in that.
Yep. May not be what they called, but actually,
that's fine.
That's a great shot.
It'll force a draw against 2. Would have loved to have had that on the top 4. That would have put Team Pulio under enormous pressure. Now the draw is there. Got a little bit of backing.
And they're icing it for the backing.
Just got to make sure you get around that guard.
Got to be 4 foot. Well, they got Michelle McEnroe sweeping on that side to hold it, which is a good thing. She's a good sweeper.
So a big shot here for Arlene Pulio and her team. Last rock here in the 4th end. Up by 2, drawing against 2, needs a piece of the 4 foot. Haven't been a ton of draws thrown on this side during the game. Last rock here, 4th end. Sweepers jump this right away. Still pounding it.
Keep it moving, ladies. You got to be full 8 to count out that second yellow counter. Oh, they've got the 4 foot. Great sweep.
And a very nice draw. T-line weight there. Sweepers carried that really nicely. They swept that from pillar to post. It's a single for Team Pulio. They grab a 6-3 lead after 5.
All right, so now we can update the scores. And on sheet 2, indeed, it was only 3? 3. So they've tied that game up, I believe. Would help the skips wouldn't stand in front of the scoreboard. Sheet 4 just took a break to do a little broom stacking in the middle of the game. And Sheet 5 is chugging along, and they're wanting each other to death. Red is now up by 1 after 4.
2-1 in favor of Team Dunnigan over Team Lamity after 4 innings of play. We're halfway home here on Sheet 3. Team Pulio leads Team Felice 6-3. Team Felice with the Yellow Rocks will have the last rock advantage this end.
Well, that's a very pretty center burn. It's about as tight as you can get it without being in. Indeed.
Around it and to the 4 foot. So there, we'll use your tight center guard. Now Shelley DeMonte will have to duplicate that feat.
That one's got legs.
It's moving. I wonder if they'll nick shot stone. I don't know if it's going to curl enough. It's trying. It's going to be a couple inches wide. Yep. I don't know. I'd be tempted to throw a corner guard here. Got that one on the top 4 locked up pretty good. They either got to throw a run back or clear their own guard.
Well, it looks like they're going to try to come around again so that if they put it perfectly, it'll make it difficult for the run back to be successful. But I don't think that's going to make the house.
Yeah, you don't want to leave an angle where they can double them out. That would be non-ideal. I think you got to start clearing something pretty soon. You can run the red in.
Mm-hmm.
Can't clear the yellow rock yet with the 5 rock rule.
Right.
Don't mind tapping that red one in, opening things up, sitting a couple rocks in the rings.
Okay, we're going to have a conference.
You're up 3 here. We don't need to steal the end. We don't even really need to score this end, but you do want to prevent a big end here.
Not quite sure what the discussion's about.
Well, you could run the yellow end, but you can't lose it. That's the problem. You can run the yellow end to the red and open things up. You can run the red one in to shot stone. The one thing you can't do yet is you can't remove that yellow rock from play because it's still in the free guard zone. Oh, they're playing by the no-tick rule.
Oh, the no-tick rule came into play. Okay.
We were wondering if they were playing by the no-tick rule, and apparently they were. So that was the...
So I don't know.
That was the discussion.
Right.
Because that rock was moved off the center line.
Mm-hmm.
And into the house, and that, of course, it doesn't matter if it goes into the house, if it's moved off the center line or out of the free guard zone.
Mm-hmm.
it is a violation.
Now, of course, the skip of the team that has had their rock moved has a choice. They could leave it where it was, or they could put everything back.
And remove the shooter, yep.
Yep.
Which they elected to do. So just part of the no-tick rule is even if that rock stays on the center line, if it's moved out of the free guard zone, then it is a violation. Rule 7. The new Rule 7, which moved every other rule in the rules of curling down one. Seemed like they should have put it at the end. So it would have messed up all of the existing numbers.
Well, it certainly messed up my cheat sheet that I give to new curlers
Yes.
on rules most commonly misunderstood.
So come around attempt here by Michelle McEnroe, just looking to freeze the shot stone. Boy, it's coming over real nice. Is it going to be too heavy? Yes, it's going to
Good
bounce.
tap. Ooh.
Just a rub. Not what they're looking for. Now that red stone's open, a chance to hit and roll away and sit 2 split.
They're going to roll under.
It's not bad if you can make it. You'll be behind, might be behind T line if you hit and roll under.
Definitely behind T line.
Well, if you hit it really thick, you might roll to the pin.
Well, okay, yeah.
But it's a tough shot. Don't mind the hit and roll away. Of course, the first requirement is the hit.
Yeah, I only got a little wide on that one. Almost got there.
Yep. Kind of threw the ring's weight. And now the Team Puleo shot rock, they're just going to cover up. Even freezing the shot stone would be, or the yellow stone would be fine.
This is going to come down to their own. Nope, nope. It's digging in.
Good spot. Would have been tempted to sweep that right down to the yellow. It's in a good spot. You got to clear that red. You got to get rid of shot stone. Your scoring area is now the pin.
You can't see it, but you can start by getting rid of the red in the front.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the red.
We're going to draw down.
You can probably double out the reds if you get a little bit to the inside. Won't need a lot of weight to do that. Just move it off the forefoot. And try to draw around instead.
It's got a curl.
Line looks pretty decent here. I think the sweepers were on it just to get it to the T-line depth, and it's just they did the best they could. It's in a good position. Can angle raise it in, kind of a setup shot. Get to the nose, you can remove it though.
Yep, no guts, no glory. You have to take this one out.
Yeah, that's definitely a danger rock. Could draw in.
Yeah.
Corner freeze.
Guard.
You hate to make their shot for them. You don't want to hit this wide and run it into shot stone.
No, they're going to guard. Well, they're still debating it.
A little dangerous with 2 yellow rocks in. Little draw flop would be pretty good here. That's less dangerous in terms of taking out your shot stone.
There seems to be some disagreement here.
There's plenty of room to get to the inside, even with T-line weight here. And you do it right, you could sit two.
And so the second and third like the hit. I believe the skipper was going for the guard. Question is, have they convinced her?
Yeah, I think just a nice, easy draw and flop in. This rock moves maybe to the back 8 here. It's a really good choice, I think, and it's the least dangerous. If you're afraid of the hit.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like they're icing it for a little draw tap. Well, the line is perfect. Oh, just nicked.
Yep.
Just nicked the guard. That was almost perfectly made shot. Now I think shot rock might be accessible with a tap.
And that red is slightly above the yellow.
Just wonder if you can get through the hole and tap the red one back.
That's real tight. And I mean real tight.
Could play the angle raise. It's tough though. It's hard to get to the outside edge of that yellow, isn't it?
You almost have to hit it in the space between the two rocks there.
Yeah, you almost got to crotch hit those two. Low risk. Even if you hit and flop over off the red, it gives you opportunities.
Or if you're on the outside of the red, right into yellow into red. And no, that'll just kick sideways, won't it?
Yep, that won't go anywhere. Yeah, they're playing the little tap back.
Mm-hmm. I think that's going to overcurl. Yes.
Didn't quite curl enough.
No, it overcurled.
I thought they were going for the red.
No, they won't.
Curled a little more, they would tap the red back. Still in a good position.
Yeah. In fact, the one that they just threw is now in an excellent position to run back on the red. There's no debate about this one.
Well, now you have to guard. You can't hit anything. There's nowhere to send that rock without great risk. And did that rock over curl enough? I think you can raise that yellow.
You can't see any of it, but the way the rocks have been curling, I think you might rewrite.
Just back 8, back 12 weight probably.
Calling for back 8.
If you nick the red on the way by and open it up, that's okay too. I mean, it looks like around about through the ring's weight.
Got a curl.
Got it out there just a little bit.
Again, lefty out turn.
Oh,
Well,
and now it's provided a backer for that red, which
Yep.
is deadly. That was not a good outcome. Now that red's harder to remove. With tap weight, it won't go anymore. You'll need
yeah,
to
you're
throw
going to need to throw quite a bit.
hard weight.
And with that kind of, well, The only way to get it out might be in off on your own. I mean, looking at it from center line, that yellow is still pretty darn buried. Might be able to see a 16th of it.
The wide yellow you can hit. So
Yep.
this one, this wide yellow you can drive in this way. That would, oops, get my arrow the right direction. Drive it in this way, and that gives you a free ride out. That's probably your only bet. That is a really thin, that's probably like 1/8 of a rock. Erlene's last rock here. Or first rock, rather, here in the fifth end. It's looking to guard that wide raise. Boy, she's way out there.
Yeah.
Almost off the sheet. You have to be out there to curl where she needs to curl. And got in the, got in the glue.
The slow stuff.
Got in the glue. That wide angle raise is there.
Going for it. They're gonna.
They still think they can get to the one in the top 8. It's okay if you unlock the back yellow. That's the problem right now. You can't really throw much weight at this. You need some curl.
Question is, have they looked at the? Have they even looked at the outside one?
That looks a lot easier to me. It's like a thin quarter. First rock, fifth end for Barb Fleece. Looking for a little tap back here. Gonna miss it. You want to chunk the red guard. That's okay. Now you opened everything up.
Yep. Erlene will have to guard with her last.
You can't guard them both, I don't think.
No, that's the problem.
You got 2 ways to do this now. You can run this one in hard and lose both back, red and yellow, or you can run this one in sideways and lose just the red. You got 2 ways in. And throwing with a stick, I don't think Barb Felice will have any trouble running both those rocks out the back.
No. Looks like they're going to hit the yellow. Ah, too bad we don't mic our players. What happened if you corner froze on that outside, that inside yellow? Kind of basically between the 2 rocks.
That would probably work out okay. Maybe. You don't want to leave that yellow, the tight yellow, accessible. They only need to hit maybe 3/4 of that rock to get rid of the back 2.
Just from this broom, I can't tell what the call is.
If you're going to guard one, guard the Guard the tight yellow, not the wide one. The wide one's a hard shot.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, he needs to curl.
Mm-hmm. She's out in the weeds again.
He's trying.
Sweepers have got to keep it moving.
It's only going to cover the outside rock, so now a chance for Barb Fleece. You can run this yellow stone in. That's for 3. Hit that just a little on the high side, right into the red. If you lose both, both is no big deal. If you hit it thin, your raised stone's going to roll out anyway. It's the same difference. You're still going to score 3. Just want to make sure you chunk that red hard enough that it goes out of play. The door of opportunity has opened here for Team Felice. Need to hit that yellow rock just a sliver high.
Oh boy.
It's coming hard. Coming hard.
And it's got plenty of weight.
And it overcurled. Needed to sweep it. Had to hit that a sliver high. It'll be a steal of 1. Looked good out of her hand, I thought. And Team Pulio takes a 7-3 lead after 5. Dodged a bullet in the 5th end. And Team Felice with Yellow Rocks will have the last rock advantage here in the 6th end.
Okay, all our scores are up to date. And now including sheet 2.
Yeah, Team Dockstader bounced back with a deuce after dropping 3 in the 4th ends. They now have a 6-4 lead after 5.
Team Carter continues to roll on. Well, Barnes unfortunately is remaining scoreless.
Yeah, the broom stacking didn't help apparently. Must have had the wrong comestible. Either that or they didn't give the other team enough comestibles. That's usually the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Team Felice was gifted a corner guard. Could throw another one on the other side.
Yeah, they're coming around.
Yeah, if you need 3, I like having a couple corners up front. More places to hide.
Nope, we got another broom stacking going on sheet 5. I believe red took 1 in the 6th. They're way ahead of everybody else. Moving quickly.
Oh, and that won't help because that one's through the rings. And that rock comes in the house. Probably don't need a lot of rocks in play if you're Team Puleo up 4. Looking for a roll here. Pretty good. Just going to get in the open. I think I'd chase that yellow rock with a 4-point lead. Take your own guard out. That's all good too. Fewer rocks in play, the better for Team Puleo. We had a ton of curl out there with a little lightweight. It's probably hack weight. Not quite what was expected probably out there. Probably a little fresh.
Yeah, they could have. Well, I'm not sure if they had time to let it come up just a little bit and redirect off their red.
Well, you'd like to hit one or the other, right? If you know it's light, you probably want to clunk the red stone.
Well, it wasn't going to come up enough to clunk the redstone.
And splitting the house here to see if they can get a deuce. You're going to get this one in the rings.
They're running out of rings to get into.
Yeah, just a little short.
Ain't something to hide behind.
Another corner, though.
Yep.
That's helpful.
No, this one has more weight.
Yeah, you're actually getting a curl out here, too, so the weight's coming right off.
Yeah. Obviously, it not been out that way.
It
She
just
certainly came streaming out of the hack. Oh, don't do that. Leave it open.
Yeah, now it's fully buried. Now a chance to use the other corner. Or you can use the red corner.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I'm not embarrassed to use the other team's corner guard.
if they gift it to you, use it.
Yep, you can got room to stack 2 or 3 stones behind it, so. But hiding behind either guard is fine at this point. Team Felice really realistically needs to get a 3 this end if they can generate some rocks in play here. I don't know if the ice is slowing up or they're just in fresh paths here. There's a couple rocks coming up light and a couple takeouts that have really scrubbed some weight off.
Right. Well, they haven't thrown many inside out. There haven't been too many corner guards, deliberate corner guards anyway. And they haven't been way out on the 12-foot. Well, they haven't been all the way out to the mid-12, I don't think, on this right side of the ice coming home.
I think the shot here is to clear your corner guard. That's the only rock that can hurt you this end.
Yeah, they're going to come around it.
Again, another light one.
And I fortunately didn't get a hog-to-hog on this one. Might have made top 12.
And now you got two corners.
Corners everywhere.
I think you got to go around the red corner. If you don't go around that red corner, then Team Pulio will. They're going to ignore any rock you throw out behind the other corner. You got to beat the other team to that spot.
It's much better weight.
It's going to be a little strong, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get a hot dog here.
This is a path they've been down a little bit during the game, so it should be more normal.
And indeed, it's running. Yeah, 13-4.
So again, it's probably going to hang around and be back of the rings. Now it's going to go through just enough. Got to get around to the 4 foot. If you don't, they will. Yep.
There we go.
We just saw it. It's running good there.
No, she's going the other way.
I mean, the only way you can have the end taken away from you is to have them come to the 4 foot first. I just guarantee you they're not going to chase a rock out here.
But light.
Well, look at this one on the rings, I think. Setting 2, but
1585, so.
I've got to think Arlene's got 2 cracks to make this draw. She's going to make one of them.
All right. So red got on the board on sheet 4, and they're now going to concede. There was debate whether it was 2 or 1. Red thought they were 2. Yellow wasn't sure.
I don't think Team Carter cares. It's a final either way. Congratulations to Team Carter. They are our D event winners. And the 3rd place team in this year's Glengarry Challenge. Well, things got more interesting. It looks like yellow is 1 and 2. So now if Team Felice can get around to that 4 foot first, I think they have a very good chance of scoring at least a deuce here.
They got to put this rock someplace where it outcounts that back red.
Well, the main thing is to get it tucked in underneath so that Team Pulio can't draw around that high corner guard. And cut the rings down so that they can't score their.
Well, they're talking about it putting 12-foot right on the center line, which would also prevent that, but it wouldn't prevent them drawing around to say back four.
Draw around for shot. I just think you'll go around top, bite top four, and then Earlene doesn't have any place to hide. You got top 12. Earlene can go around back four for shot. Could make it difficult to score two. First rock here in the sixth end for Team Felice. Looks like a lot of weight.
I don't know why they're sweeping it.
Doesn't need it for line. This will go to the back. Probably want to take that all the way back. Earlene to do it for you.
Well, Donna, her vice.
Donna, yep.
He's still sitting three.
Sits three, but there's an out for Earlene. She just needs to draw top four buried.
Not any debate. Broom down, ready to go.
Top four buried here will get you a force. Last rock, sixth end here for Earlene Pulio. Line looks great.
Oh. Okay, they got the 4 foot.
And that's why you needed to cover that draw path. So Earlene Pulio just took the entire end away from Barb Felice.
Okay, it's crazy, but then I don't skip. Would you ever consider running that red, the first of the red corner guards, the wider one, in and try to split the red that's on? That
I think you run the high one in. It's the easiest. And split the two reds out. That's really your only way to score 3 here is to run this guard in. And try to double those out.
Okay.
The other one's a little tougher, I think. Real risk of jamming on your yellow.
I don't know. The way things have been going, if you run that the higher one, I could see that jamming on the yellow all day long. Well, maybe not jamming, but taking your yellow out.
Yep, you could.
Question
If you knows it, you'll probably score. If you hit it a little high, you might score only one. But it's pretty much all you got.
Or you take your one.
I don't think one helps them here. They're down 4 with 3 to play.
Well, after this, 2 to play.
If you get 1 here, you're down 3. If you get a force, you have to score 4. So I think you got to go for it here. You have to run one of the 2 reds in. Take your pick. I like the one that's a little straighter instead of the one that's on the angle. Just easier to call line for those. So this one's got to hit on an angle.
Yeah, but it's, what, 3/4 of the rock?
Yeah, tough angle. This one's almost on the nose. This one's just a sliver on the low side. So this top one here, you got to hit that just a little bit on the center line side to get the. You can actually hit it two ways too. You can hit it thin enough and go over the top that way too.
It's just that it's a longer run back.
It is. I just think it's easier to call line for it. The outer one's got a more natural angle, but a little harder to call the line. And in the end, they're going to draw for one.
Just faster. Sheet 5 is outpacing everything, which is really, when you consider you've got. Yes. But no, click, 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 click. I see they've decided to go for the draw.
Yep, looking for one.
All right, let's get hog to hog on this.
Last rock, sixth end. Need the 4 foot here.
Oh boy. $16-4.
And line was good, just a little on the light side. So another steal for Team Pulio. They now lead 8-3 after 6. In our other games, Team Schaefer, skipped by Sue Williams, is taking an 8-6 lead, grabbing another 4 spot. And that's after 6 ends of play. The lead team, Dockstader. Our feature game, it's 8-3, Team Pulio over Team Felice. Team Felice with the yellow rocks will have the last rock advantage here in the 7th end. For those of you tuning in, not familiar with the Glengarry Challenge, it's been around since 1950. It actually used to be a challenge event in which a team challenged the current champion to a game to wrest the title from them, and it was run that way until the 1980s, when apparently it was a little too difficult to schedule the games. And for a while it went dormant and became a daytime event and even a mixed event for a short period of time. It was revived in 2003 as a traditional women's championship event and has been run that way ever since. And is now one of our 3 club championship events with the Murray Bonspiel for the men's, and we have a mixed championship, and then this is our women's championship. Team Felice needs to make something happen this end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They are down a bunch, down 5, 2 to play. Realistically need to score 3 this end with the last rock to have a good chance, or any chance.
to steal with the next.
Yeah, it's hard to steal more than 2. Need some help. Got that one quasi-buried behind a couple guards. Back 8. Team Felice has shot rock, but they're behind T-line. Michelle McEnroe will attempt to draw around in front of it. And neutralize it. That's going to add another guard to the party. Helps out Team Felice. They can hit and roll under. Alan Safinsky looking for a little hit and roll here. This should curl.
Yeah, they may have left it.
They may have lost it. Yeah, rocks curl very hard in that slide path, especially later in the game. Just as that pebble wears down. Well thrown shot. Just kind of missed the sweep call on that.
Draws could become interesting with the game on the sheet next to them having come off the ice already.
The sheet 4 game has concluded, and so that could influence this outturn side. On sheet 3.
Oh boy.
And again, another light stone from Michelle McEnroe, and this is going to join the other guards. So another chance for Team Felice to get around. Plenty of room. 3 guards in play. That'll help. Now Millen Safinsky with a draw attempt. Love to get one buried, biting top 4 here. I think they have to go for a line. They may not want to, but
No.
it's slowed up on this side, I think.
Yep, definitely. Ooh. There's a magnet there. All right, let's see how this is running. It's not uncommon when you've seen so many rocks come up short to overthrow your first.
$13-7.
It's going to be back 4, back 8. Back 8.
So Team Fleece still shot rock. Who's going to find the magic touch here and figure out how to draw top 4? Another chance for Team Felice. So they can bury one here. They put 3 in play. Carol Jones will give it a try here. Lefty in turn. This should curl nice. Starting to move. 14-6, that has to be close. And nicely done. Top button for Carol Jones. She found the magic touch. It's still quick out there. Now Donna Cleo trying to draw down the shot stone. The only disadvantage of that last shot, maybe just a shade deep, is a freeze to that stone will outcount the one in the back. This looks like it might be a good one. They can get it by.
Got 3 brooms working on it. They've got it by. Just good correction.
And nicely done. And again, that takes the end away from Team Felice. Squeezes the rings down to just the 4-foot circle.
And you can see nothing but a sliver of that red rock.
Well, it's probably a good thing because it's in a good position to be raised against the yellow. You need to stick one in the 4-foot here somewhere.
May have to come the other way.
Yeah, the intern's available. Come this way.
I think they're going to guard the raise first.
And come that way. Get some scoring rocks. I wouldn't want to put this guard where it cuts off your out-turn draw, though. This one's gliding in.
It was somewhere in the same neighborhood as the red rock that was just thrown. Oh boy.
That's not ideal. Well, it's hard to get rid of the yellow on the pin. It's going to jam. Any attempt to raise this yellow into the red is going to send that yellow back here.
I think they're guarding.
I'd say given their lead, Team Pulio doesn't need to move any rocks. They just need to prevent Team Felice from scoring a deuce. And I don't see how they score a deuce now. They have no access to the scoring area, which is now the button. I think they're going to be pretty much guaranteed of being up for a width in the last end. Anywhere over the hog line would be pretty good.
Oh.
And I think all Team Felice can do is take a bite out of this next rock and take your one. There's absolutely no access to the button area.
Was that Arlene's second rock?
Was that just the first?
No, that's just first skips. I'm not sure what you can do at this point, either skip.
Well, have to open it up. You got to get rid of some guards to be able to get to the second rock, because second rock is clamping your rings down. Got a lot of yellows in play, but you can't use them to score. I don't know if you got anything if you blow up the middle.
So many rocks there that I'm not sure you could calculate all the angles. Red onto red.
Now you could put a yellow rock out here and hope you can, as a setup shot, maybe to drive it in. I don't know what else to do. That red rock is locked on. Our other games over on sheet 2, the B event, Heather Dockstader and Joy Schaefer's team are locked up in an 8-8 tie. Team Schaefer will have the last rock advantage coming home. And over on sheet 5 in our C event final, Team Dunnigan has grabbed a 9-1 lead over Team Lamity. Our future game, Team Felice down 5 against Team Pulio. Looking for some sort of setup shot here to.
Yeah, it's over curling. It's going to go join the other guards.
I think Team Pulio can just throw this rock away.
Or put a guard on this side. Can't hurt him. Although, no, you can't do a setup and then use it because we're out of rocks there.
Don't give them a setup shot. Right now they have no shot for 2. I would just throw my rock away. They can do absolutely nothing on the left-hand side of the sheet to score another point. His Team Felice needs to grab a piece of the button to score a second rock, and that's only available on the right-hand side where there's a plethora of granite in the way. Last rock, 7th end for Team Julio. One more to come. Doesn't much matter where this one lands, as long as it's not in the house. And that will be fine. It's pretty much a practice draw for Barb Felice. And it'll be a single, 8-4 after 7. Team Julio will have their last rock advantage, playing the red rocks here in the last end. Tall order now for Team Felice. They need to score 4 rocks, so need a couple guards in play at least.
And Arlene will be throwing through.
Yeah, Team Julio doesn't need any rocks in play. There will be no guards, Johnny, as they say. Card slipped in the ring, so it's eligible to be removed from play. And you should just use that as a guard and come around. Weight's good, but it's going to overcurl, I think.
Yeah. Well, no.
They get it by?
They've
No,
No.
just going to clunk.
missed sweep call. That's
Weight
too bad.
Weight was perfect.
Yep.
And that one will go away. Again, just a little soft here. This one's going to overcurl.
Should have come up and let it see if they could have run the yellow.
I think the draw is easier.
Plus, you need every rock you can.
Right.
Counting.
That one's already shot. Doesn't need to be shotter. It's one of my rules. Shot rock doesn't usually need to be shotter.
Unless you're going to split them. Okay.
Yep. Going to need some misses anyway to steal a bunch, so just start burying some rocks. Even if you split this rock, it's still going to be open. There's ample weight on this.
Got to hit it then.
Yeah, you want to try to keep both rocks around.
There's no sweep call on it, though.
It is shotter.
And wide open.
Yep. No reason not to remove it from play. This is removed from play. Team Fleece have to score the remainder of the rocks. And that one's a bit wide, so still alive. Need to dunk another rock in somewhere. The corner guard might be splittable later if you need it. Get one top four for now. Might have to split that rock on to count up to 4 rocks as you get here toward the end. Carol Jones with her first. Looking to wrap one around. Keep the end alive.
Gotta be in those.
Wade looks close. Want to get this buried if you can. And it's going to be wide open.
Might even get the other yellow on the way by.
Yeah, nose hit might be a double. That looks like nose hit's definitely a double.
Got to get to nose.
It's going to clunk enough of it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Got to make a hit and roll here.
Now they do have to split that rock in.
Well, they're sitting one already. They've got 3 rocks left, so we're
they
sitting
do.
second
Okay.
rock. Yeah, they're sitting one in the house, I should say. Do need to hit and roll here. And they're still alive. Need to keep the shooter, though.
And not jam.
As long as you get to the inside, this may over curl. That looks pretty good. Very nice. Stop curling. Looked like he was going to get to the inside and just kind of flattened out on him. And a chance for Donna Kaleo to remove another yellow rock. And the double. Did that get out of play? Yes, it did.
So
That should be enough. Even with the split, there's not enough rocks left to score 4. I don't know if you got any kind of crazy raise the center guard in and split your shooter on, but
it is being outcounted by the top red anyway.
well, they can double those 2 out,
True.
theoretically. Yeah, you can't put a biter bar on it.
Is that what they were discussing?
Yeah, you can't measure that stone.
No. Only during free guard zone. Maybe
Well,
even
you
only
can
after the first rock.
You can
right?
only measure it if it's at the on the center line.
Oh, that's true.
And you're determining if it's out of play. So, if that rock is still on, then they can split this rock on the split the guard on, and then they'll have a double.
I'd do the double first, frankly.
Do the double first so you can
Because-
get your rocks out. Yeah, I don't know if you split this one on, you're going to set up a jam. So they're looking to split this one on, but I think that will create problems with the double. Unless you just barely split them on, but I agree with you. I think you would try to run the double first. Split attempt coming. Need to split these 2 on to have a chance. And that's going to over curl. And that should do it. Team Felice is out of rocks. Let's call it a 8-4. Oh, it should be a 9-4, I guess. Win.
No, 8-4. The former.
That's right. Nobody.
Former Rule 7.
Yeah.
If we'd only had 1 rock left.
Yep. So make it an 8-4 final. Congratulations to Team Pulio, Erlene Pulio, Donna Kaleo, Michelle McEnroe, and Shelley Del Monte. They are our 4-time Glengarry Challenge champions, winning each of the last 4 times. And congratulations to Team Felice. Barb Felice, Carol Jones, Melanie Safinsky, and Marge Moore subbing in for the injured Cindy Chiarelli. A great run to the final. Good game. And congratulations to them for being the runners-up. So once again, congratulations, Team Puleo. They are your Glengarry Challenge Women's Club Champions for 2024.
We are down to last rock on sheet 2, so we'll stick with you.
We'll switch over to sheet 2 and catch the last stone over there. We're all tied up at 8.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
An attempted takeout missed, and it looks like Team Dockstader squeaks out a 9-8 win. They are your B event champions. Congratulations to Team Dockstader, and that concludes our broadcast. We hope you enjoyed our final championship club broadcast of the year. We might be back for another playoff game or two, who knows? But until then, so long from the Utica Curling Channel. This is Roger Roulette and MJ Walsh. Have a nice evening.